What is up, everybody? Mo Bogsley here, back again with another Flesh and Blood video. This time, we're talking about Dash, and not just any Dash list, the list that me and Dagan took to Battle Hard in Milwaukee, where I got 9th place on tiebreakers, and Dagan's brain stopped working, so he went 4-3 on the day. I believe this deck is still really well positioned in the meta. It does have some weaknesses. It is a count your blessings deck, so you can definitely abuse that. But let's just get right into it and talk about what we believe might be the best count your blessings deck in this current meta, how to play it, how to sideboard, and how to beat it. So, we brought OG Dash, one of my favorite decks of all time. And the baseline of this deck was the deck that Easton took to top 4 of Worlds last year, the famous Slab Dash deck. We are trying to play these Tekla base arms and equip them with the Evo upgrades to just get extra block, right? And then all you're trying to do on your turn is shoot your gun for 2 and 2. That's all you do. 1 blue lets you shoot for 2 and 2. It's better than a hammer swing because a hammer is for 4, 1 card blocks 3. This is 2 and 2, so 1 card only blocks 2, and you still get 2 damage through. So that is the baseline math of the deck and kind of what we're trying to do. The equipment suite is pretty easy. You have Achilles Accelerator. This is just AB1 naturally. That's cool. And if you ever boost, you can destroy it to gain an action point. This is very important for us because we do miss a lot on boosting. We have a lot of misses in the deck. And if we want to go fast, we need a get out of jail free card that we can boost, break it, and still do other stuff with our turn. Next up is our headpiece. We have Crown of Providence. OG headpiece, right? We all know why this headpiece is good. It gets even better when you have all these no blocks. We have Count Your Blessings. We have Induction Chambers. We have Sigils. We have so many cards that don't block. So if you ever draw a hand with 2 or 3 of them, you can ship one of them to the bottom, get a card that hopefully blocks, and not take a ton of damage. Next up is Tunic. Tunic is great. It's even better in this deck because anytime it has 3 counters, just remove a counter, shoot your gun for 2. Remove a counter, shoot your gun for 2. Every 3 turns, it represents 2 damage. Sometimes more. Sometimes it can play an Oasis or something cute like that. But most of the time, it's just a 2 damage every 3 turns. And lastly is Tekla base arms. Let's be honest, Mech doesn't have the best arm slots or equipment slots. But Tekla base arms block for 1 naturally. It's got super cool cold foil art. And you can put those awesome Evo upgrades on it to block for 3, then 2, then put another pair of gloves on, block for 3 and 2, and just keep doing that to get maximum value out of your cards. Now let's talk about the deck list. First off, it is a Count Your Blessings deck. And I know currently everyone is super hateful for Count Your Blessings, but I think Count Your Blessings is a viable strategy. It is good. If you are not respecting this strategy, you could just lose against it. However, I think there's ways to beat it. And I lost games this weekend. I dropped 2 games. Almost dropped a game against Takeo. Almost dropped a game against Levia. The games aren't free. They're super, super tight. And if both players are playing at the highest level, you are edging out for that, 0.5% edge in those matchups. And it's just so much fun to play. You have the classics. You have Command and Conquer. You have Enlightened Strike. You have Fate Foreseen. You have a Firewall because Aurora and Ocilio are trying to throw so many 4-power attacks. You just want another breakpoint. And it's fine because you're blocking so much with this deck that it doesn't matter that you can't arsenal it. It doesn't matter that it's red. It is a 4 breakpoint, and that's all it needs to be. Induction Chamber is the item we always start with. Pretty good. We're playing 2 Sigils. We went back and forth on 2 or 3 until basically the tournament started. We ended up on 2 of them because we already have Count Your Blessings. We already have Induction Chamber. We already have all these no blocks that if we draw tons of them, it's awkward. And it's also a red. So we played 2 of them, and this is really good against the Poison the Well tech. It comes up often where you will play a Count Your Blessings, and your opponent will try to Poison the Well, and then you just play a Sigil. And they can Poison the Well for 3 life off Sigil instead of the 8, 9, 10 life you can gain off Count Your Blessings. So Sigil is a super cute way to beat Poison the Well. If someone is trying to poison you to death, you can just make them only gain a 3-point life swing instead of, a billion. Sink below is pretty obvious. I think the blues and from here on out is where the deck list gets super interesting. So let's look at the blues. All of our blues, besides Ripple Away and Warmongers, are mech cards. They almost all say boost as well. The reason of this is because we need to beat decks like Enigma. Enigma will run us over if we give them time. If we give them space to set up that great wall of auras, we can't win. So we need to add a lot of boost cards in our deck and a lot of mech cards. I believe the last time I did the math, it was about a 54% chance to blind boost into a mech card. That math gets better for us as the game goes on because we will keep pitching all of our blues, which are almost all mech cards, and be playing these Count Your Blessings, Fate Foreseen, Sink Belows, E-Strikes. So in the late game, you're almost always guaranteed to just keep on boosting, and you'll be fine. Red Throttle and Blue Throttle are our breakpoint / big numbers in the deck. They're really good against, if your opponent ever lets up pressure, these are the damage cards, right? These are the take the tempo kind of cards. Ripple Away is super cute. It is really good against Viserai. It is really good against KO. It is really good against all these decks that are just trying to make auras. If, let's just say... Sorry, a dog is barking. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. It is the neighbor's dog. Let's say you're playing against an Azalea and they're trying to give you a Blood Rot token. You don't want Blood Rot. You can just discard this and say, you can keep that Blood Rot. It also pays for Blood Rot, so it's a bad example. But if they're trying to give you a Nurse token, if they're trying to make a Ponder token off a Codex, if they're trying to do anything, you can discard this. If Viserai plays, anything that makes a rune chant, you can just discard this and get value. In my winning in for top 8 stream game, which they unfortunately did not show, turn 1, I just Viserai play read the runes to make 3 rune chants, and I'm like, I'll discard this and let's just make 2 instead. It's a small edge, but even 2 to 3 is a big difference. So Ripple Away is also a 2 for 4. This card is busted. I'm surprised more decks aren't playing it already. And I think as the meta goes on with so much token generation in this current meta, this card will go up. The other blue I want to point out is Scrap Hopper. Now this is an interesting one because it hasn't seen play. It's a 0 for 1, no go again, no boost. It blocks 3, but it has scrap on it. And we are a deck that puts our equipment in our graveyard off of our Evil Steel Soul controllers. And late game, it's worse than shooting a gun, but you can make a Quicken token for next turn and really start getting value off that gun. You can go 2/2/2. You do have to give a turn up, but if you're missing a resource for whatever reason, or you just want a Quicken token, there are situations when we get into our sideboard why this card is kind of an open performer. And it's a card I wasn't expecting to play until we really dug deeper. But almost all of our blues are attacks. We are trying to be a slab dash deck that gets good math in the matchups. We need good math. But also have all these mech cards to really be able to boost, safely boost, and push those slow control decks when we need to. Now let's look at the sideboard. The sideboard is interesting because we have the normal pistol package, right? If they're playing slow, if they're playing dirtily, bring in these chambers, bring in these plasma purifiers, and we can outgrind any deck in Flesh and Blood. You want to set up all your auras over there? That's cool. We'll just go 4/4/4/4. You want to swing hammer and bonk me a bunch? 4/4/4/4. Nothing beats 4/4/4/4 if it becomes that super slow, grindy game. And that's why I love Dash. It lets you build a board state and just shoot your gun a bunch. Looking for Scrap is another interesting card for Slab Dash. Which is why when we were deck building, we tried to get all these attacks that have 1 base power. All of these turn on our looking for Scrap. So if we block with them early, we can just 1 for 5 go again, 1 for 5 go again, and really punish these decks that are letting us keep a full hand if we don't have items set up already. Oasis Respite, as we know, is a very good defensive tool. It is worse than Sync. It's worse than Fate. But it is a card that pairs really, really well with Count Your Blessings. You're pitching a blue for Count Your Blessings. Now you have 1 floating. Cool. Let's play an Oasis. It just works out mathematically that when you want the 4 breakpoints, Oasis comes in, and you can normally find a spot to line it up with your Tunic or with your Count Your Blessings. Next up is Unmovable. This is a card I really want to cut. I kept on being like, guys, can we cut this? Guys, can we cut this? Please, please let me cut this card. I don't like it. But guess what? If you play against that one Azalea, you want immovables, right? So our immovable is just respect for Azalea because that matchup isn't great for us, and that really swings the percentage in our favor, I believe. Last up is Zipper Hit. This is another 2 aggressive cards that if you want aggression against, like a Kano, an Enigma, anything that makes you be aggressive, you have 2 copies that just keep on boosting, and you can take out, So normally when you're bringing in this like Zipper Hit aggressive package, you're also taking out your Conjure Blessings because the game might go so long that your life doesn't matter. You just need to be in the aggressive deck. But our sideboard is all up here. It will be a little bit off because we have changed cards last minute. But feel free to take a look at our deck list, take a look at our sideboard. Like I said, the cards are a little bit off, so you're going to use some judgment calls of what comes in, what comes out. But this is a great starting point, and I might actually update this for you guys. We changed about 6 cards right before the tournament started. But you have every single hero currently in Flesh and Blood, besides the Mirror. But the Mirror is just board down to 60 and play all the items. But yeah, and our last card is AB2, because we respect Kano in this house. We respect those arcane dealing losers. JK, I'm a Kano simp myself. But yeah, AB3 is our goal. And we are fast enough, in theory, that we could race a Kano because we have a million blues, but we also have all these boost cards and items that we can really just go 3 go again, 3 go again, boost, 3 go again, 3 go again, 3 go again, boost, 3 go again. So if you guys have any questions, besides the maybe slot, the cards that didn't make the deck that were this close, Titanium Bobble. Listen, if you're playing Slapdash, Titanium Bobble should be in the deck, or at least in the maybe pile, because this card is busted. If you guys have any questions, or if you liked the content, please leave a comment down below. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. The deck list will be linked in the description. Like I said, the sideboard guide is updated, minus like 4 or 5 cards, but it is pretty simple. If you're going aggressive, you want to bring in the Zipper Hits. If you're going more controlling and slow, you want the items. We have a clean 60 if you just want to run the clean 60 for a while and get used to the play patterns and really just doing induction chamber, plasma pistol, just for 2 and 2 every turn. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Expect more content coming out before Worlds. I'm trying to up my content game, but I can only post so much without leaking team secrets. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day.